Thank you very much for joining me here. My name is Peter Barton. I'm the founder of a society called Compassion Globally. Compassion Globally will form an enormous worldwide society that will work peacefully and collectively to reduce the sexual violence against women and girls. We will call on all women and supporting men in the world to work together to substantially mitigate this brutal violence. Sexual violence is hideous, overwhelming, and degrading. However, let us quietly take some joy as we build an enormous worldwide society that will work endlessly and peacefully to substantially reduce this violence. An important point to note at this time is that most men do not rape. There are in fact millions upon millions of wonderful men in our world. However, worldwide sexual violence is not diminishing. Rape of every kind and the trafficking of women and girls is endless. We must encourage all parents around the world to explain to all children, starting no later than 12 years of age, about the basics of their sexual life and how to maintain safety and respect for themselves and for others. We know that this is a subject that many people find very difficult. However, someone has to advise children as to the realities. The time to start this instruction is now. Parents are the best people to undertake this job. We must demystify sexual experiences. Compassion Globally. Why compassion? Experiencing compassion can be extraordinary. The meaning of the word compassion is best described as putting yourself into the other person's shoes. However, compassion globally comes not from a textbook definition, but from having tasted liquid salt from the wounds of the world. Picture these stories, if you are able to. A 2-year-old girl delivered to a doctor with both her legs broken. Her legs were in the way of her being raped. That little girl died. That little girl died in the arms of that doctor. Too often, girls as young as 2 and 3 years are brought to hospitals around the world, having been raped. A young woman, a recent arrival from Europe, was met at the airport by 3 men. They stole her passport and then pressed her against her will into prostitution. In order to make her comply, 5 men raped her. They all but tore her apart. We must start now to build worldwide respect for all women and girls. Women worldwide are an integral part of the world's well-being. Compassion Globally asks that every culture, every race, and every religion stand under the umbrella of Compassion Globally so that all peoples will be represented. Our intent is to peacefully and together make the entire world a more acceptable place for women and for girls. Why globally? In order to accomplish our goal, we need enormous numbers of supporters. In our first year, we need at least 2 million supporters. In subsequent years, we need to climb rapidly to hundreds of millions of supporters. Compassion Globally will inform all people worldwide, along with the world's leaders, be they business, religious, or political leaders, as to the enormous numbers of sexual violence that exists against women and girls. Each culture and each country will wish to deal with this horrendous problem in their own way. However, all women and supporting men in our world need to act in unison in order to substantially reduce this sexual violence. It is well past time for demonstrative changes. It is difficult to determine how many women and girls are raped every minute. Do not look at developing countries alone. Compassion Globally combined the numbers of reported rapes from 6 well-developed countries, namely Britain, Australia, Canada, the United States, Germany, and Japan. We found that the average number of reported rapes in these 6 countries amounted to 1 rape every 3 minutes. Police tell us that for every reported rape, 9 go unreported. That means that approximately 1 rape occurs every 20 seconds in these 6 countries alone. Worldwide we can conservatively, very conservatively, multiply the above figures by 10. That means that globally, approximately 1 rape occurs every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. The news in the past and at present has been full of impassioned debate related to the silent condoning of torture. There is an ever-running worldwide outcry about torture, as there should be. However, where is the outcry related to women and to girls who are continually tortured in a sinister and obscene fashion, their bodies and their spirits broken, and their lives scarred forever? Where is that outcry? And so we ask, where is the breaking point where we can actually get the world's attention so that the entire world will begin to address these brutal crimes that ruin so many lives? We must all start now. We must all start now to raise our voices throughout our communities, our countries, and the world. We must peacefully speak out clearly, insisting that leaders and litigators worldwide start to reduce this plague that is besieging women and girls. There is so much happening in our world. The catastrophes are endless. However, Compassion Globally is convinced that sexual violence against women and girls is equal to all the other issues. We will not be asking you for money. We will initially ask you for a short time on your computers, and we'll ask that you start talking to everyone about Compassion Globally. Integrate Compassion Globally into your neighborhood and into your local, national, and international groups, such as the Rotary and Kiwanis, and into all the worldwide religions. We will need continuing interest and support from all of you. If you do not belong to an existing group, then please form your own group of friends and associates, 2 people, 5 people, or 500 people. With all of us working peacefully and together, we will make Compassion Globally an effective and peaceful organization working for positive changes for women and for girls. Please do not give up your current charities. All Compassion Globally is asking is that you help to unite women and supporting men worldwide. There are at present thousands of fine people and organizations working in some way to help women and girls. But no matter how these wonderful helping people cry out, the pace of change worldwide is too slow or non-existent. We need a from the ground, worldwide organization of enormous proportions. Compassion Globally believes that the struggle for gender equity, equity meaning fairness and justice, is a most important struggle, and nowhere is this more evident than with issues of sexual violence. We cannot seek some clever compromise to get past the difficulties. We cannot finesse the reality of what is being done to women and to girls around the world. Yet that is exactly what we have been doing. We need to trigger a shift from commonplace recognition to imperative action. In response to the lack of rights for and the brutal treatment of women and girls in too many countries, Compassion Globally is focusing on the following objectives. Number one, spreading meaningful information throughout the world as it relates to the worldwide sexual violence. Number two, control for women and for girls over their own bodies as it relates to the worldwide sexual violence. We will explain Compassion Globally's views on these objectives. Number one, spreading meaningful information throughout the world as it relates to the worldwide sexual violence. With modern technical skills, we can and we must do this. Too many people do not wish to even think about the endless sexual violence that exists around our world. It is a very difficult topic to absorb and to deal with. However, spreading meaningful information that informs the world about the horrific number of incidents of sexual violence is the answer to this particularly difficult situation. The worldwide Compassion Globally will do that. Around our world, by and large, male children are taught, or they absorb, that they are superior to women and to girls. Over time, this way of thinking must change. Young men, all men, need to understand and they need to learn how to control their endless sexual drive. It is not an easy task, but it can be done. Respect for women and for girls is paramount to effecting important changes. Number two, control for women and for girls over their own bodies. Control over their very own bodies as it relates to the massive worldwide sexual violence. Compassion Globally does not wish to point an accusing finger at any particular culture or country. Tragically, sexual violence is worldwide. In wars, in every war, sexual violence is used endlessly as a weapon. Once again, women and girls are raped, mutilated, tortured, and killed. It seems that in war situations, rape is an accepted tactic. What happened to the Geneva Convention? And what happens to the men who do these things? Almost always nothing. They carry on with their lives, their jobs, their wars, and their rapes. It is the business of the most horrible nightmares. We at Compassion Globally are truly distressed because the world allows this cruel treatment of women and girls to continue largely unabated. Too many governments remain silent. We must take steps forward. We must strive to protect women and girls by first demonstrating that we are aware of their plight, and second, by stating that we will not remain silent until there is appropriate information and effective laws in place that will allow women and girls control over their own bodies. Please note that Compassion Globally does not wish to pit women against men, nor men against women. We must all work hand in hand. We may on occasion become frustrated. However, we must cast our frustrations aside and be very peaceful in our pursuits, like Gandhi, Mandela, and Martin Luther King. Politically speaking, women are the most magnificent, largely unrecognized resource that the world has, and we desperately need more of these women in positions of leadership. We need those people who have bathed and cared for small children. We need those who come with an open hand rather than a clenched fist. We desperately need people who are predominantly peaceful. Compassion globally needs enormous numbers of people in order to make these important changes. By using the Compassion Globally website, you can unify all groups, large or small, under the Compassion Globally umbrella, so that we can present a common and strong front to all the world leaders and to the United Nations. Things that we can do right now. Advise all groups that you belong to or those that you have formed to join with Compassion Globally. Ask these groups to encourage world leaders, including business, religious, and political leaders, to work very hard to find well-thought-out laws that will help to protect women and girls. Please give everyone our webpage address. Ask all people and groups of people to speak up loudly and clearly to all leaders so that they will see the need to change the world for women and for girls. Then all of you, please under our website, click on Change the Truth and sign our online petition. Your voices will be heard over and over again as we present this petition to leaders all over the world. After you have signed the petition, please click on Share the Truth and pass along the Compassion Globally website to your social and professional networks. Please read our blog, tweet us on Twitter, and tumble us on Tumblr. Friend us and like us on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up on StumbleUpon and recommend us to your professional colleagues by adding us to your LinkedIn network. This is our collective, worldwide job. And what a truly wonderful job it is when we do this wonderful job in substantial numbers, and we do it well. We will be helping the world, and we will be helping millions upon millions of women and girls to attain some basic respect where too often no respect exists. We all need to work on a continuing basis with worldwide leaders and litigators. Again, we must work in a compassionate, respectful, and sensitive manner in order to help to implement pertinent informational programs and fair, well-thought-out laws. Your very important conversations and your work on your computers will become enormous when united with hundreds of millions of women and men worldwide. The leaders of the world will have to pay attention. We must continually advise all business, religious, and political leaders at every level and in every country in order to show them that to truly help their country and the world, they should work very hard to diminish worldwide sexual violence. For far too long, women and girls have been disgustingly abused. There is no better time to act. There is no better time to act. Michelle Bachelet of the United Nations Women's Rights Agency and the women and girls of the world await our demonstrative actions and support. To Too often we've intended to respond to important causes and not done so. Please, please do not allow this to happen to you or to this enormously important worldwide cause. Now, with Compassion Globally, all of us, with a minimum amount of effort, can help substantially. Our webpage address is www.compassionglobally, all one word, .org. You will find your opportunity to help there. Please, please do so. Our email address is info@compassionglobally.org. Please send us your views, your questions, and your ideas. There is absolutely nothing entertaining about sexual violence. However, just think of the enormous joy that you will experience by starting to reduce, bit by bit, the worldwide sexual violence experienced by women and girls. With, and only with, enormous numbers of people throughout the entire world can we accomplish our goal. We at Compassion Globally, we give you our love, we give you our respect, and we give you our gratitude. Thank you all very, very much.